Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is your match preview. Brentford versus Chelsea. Premier League football is back and finally we get our Chelsea back and it all kicks off tomorrow. Gonna be interesting to see how all the games before Chelsea take on Brentford go, because obviously that's going to give us a good indication. If I'm not mistaken, I think Man City are playing, I think Man United are playing. Let me actually just get this up real quick whilst I'm gonna confirm all of this with you. So yeah, we've got Liverpool at the early kickoff against Watford. Come on, Claudio Ranieri. Leicester City, Man United, Man City, Burnley, and then Brentford, Chelsea at 5:30. So we're the late kickoff. And I have to be honest with you, from the get-go, I am going to be real. The last few days, I've been feeling fairly, I want to say, confident. What normally happens for me coming up to a Chelsea game is any skepticism or any doubt I have normally starts early. And then as we get closer to the fixture, I begin to go, no, you know what? We got this. Come on, we got this. It's fine. We're going to win. It's the opposite this time. I'm going to be real. I am going to be absolutely straightforward with you guys and completely transparent. I felt confident. The closer we get to tomorrow, I'm starting to feel like maybe we're not getting a result. And I'll explain why. It wasn't up until the press conference earlier today and the team news that I heard already accumulated with what we knew going into this fixture, which I'm gonna come to, now has made me a bit doubtful. And especially 5:30 on a Saturday, that's another bogey time slot. The Saturday lunchtime is a bogey time slot. Everyone knows that. You play at 12:30 on a Saturday lunchtime. Chances are, if you're a big team, you're losing. It's a curse. I don't know why, but it just happens. The 5:30 on a Saturday can have just as much of a surprise than the 12:30 on a lunchtime on a Saturday. So I'm going into this thinking, you know what? Everything's going against us. And I'll tell you exactly what it is. Let's start off with the team news first. The team news. We got 4 men out. 4 flipping injuries. 4 players are not available. Pulisic still has not come back. I thought he'd be ready by now. What the hell is going on with him? And this is the doubt that I have about Pulisic now. This is why I'm starting to get really concerned. I'm starting to think, is this guy physically up to it? Mentally, in terms of his skill set, everything he does as a player, fantastic. I've got no complaints. But is his body responding? Because right now, this is getting silly. He was meant to be out for about 10 days. We've had an entire international break, as well as 2 or 3 games before that he missed, and he's still not back. Terrible. It's terrible. And I'm beginning to think, my goodness, what is it going to take for this guy to be back consistently? For his body to be fit? Anyway, Pulisic is out. We've got Thiago Silva out, and that's understandable because he played an international game not long ago. He played for Brazil in the last 24 hours or something. So there's that. Him coming back, it's impossible. It's impossible for a Saturday at 5:30. So he's unavailable just for this one. I get it. Hakim Ziyech is out with a headache. Have we run out of paracetamol at Cobham? What's going on? How do you end up out 24 hours before a game with a headache? I'm sorry. If there's any medical people or doctors in the comment section, please let me know. We've all had headaches. It takes 1 paracetamol. Actually, take that back. I'm not an advocate for things like paracetamol unless it's absolutely necessary. If you eat well, you drink well, stay hydrated, eat your fruits, eat your greens, get enough protein, carbs in you, have some good food in you, it should get rid of the headache. That's what works for me. However, if it's a strong one, right, I can't believe I'm giving medical advice here. What's going on? If it's a strong one, right, then you can go to a paracetamol, have some sleep or whatever, and you'll be fine. Ziyech is out for tomorrow, 5:30, because he has a headache. I'm baffled. I'm absolutely baffled with that one. But anyway, we'll move on. Ziyech is out. And now Rudiger is out. Rudiger's out because of a little injury he picked up on the international break playing for Germany. So we got 4 men out. As far as I look, one of them is crucial. And that's Rudiger. One of them absolutely crucial, and that's going to be Rudiger. And I feel like, my goodness, tomorrow would have been the perfect game to have Rudiger, and now we're not going to have him. And it's the one position in that back line that we're most vulnerable at, because we have cover for centre back, we have cover for right centre back. we don't really have cover for left centre-back. We're going to have to get someone to fill in. And I'll tell you exactly what I think we should do when I go into the lineup. Now, going forward into the other reasons as to why this is a mess is Brentford are a good team. They're sitting 7th at the moment. They're London's second best placed team in the Premier League. Obviously behind us because we're top of the league. But they're a good team. And they took Liverpool to the limit. And at home, where we're going to be tomorrow, Brentford's home, not Stamford Bridge. We're going to be away, but we're going to be at Brentford's home. Brentford are dangerous. And they've got quality. Especially in terms of their resilience, the bravery they have on the ball, the way that they play their football. The way they play their football seems to be very traditional, but very modern at the same time. It's very traditional in terms of the setup, the formation, the positioning of the players. But the pace that they play at, the way that they pass, the way that they move, and the goal threats that they have in terms of an Ivan Toney, for example, or, I forgot his name. I forgot his name. Begins with an M. Mbuemba, is it? I'm not sure, but I think that's his name. Some good goal threats. Some very, very good goal threats in that Brentford team. So we got to be careful. And this is where I'm feeling a little bit, okay, it's not going to be an easy game tomorrow. It's going to be very physical, very aggressive. And that's how Brentford play. And we got to be like that. And there's no cutting corners tomorrow. So there's that. But the one additional factor that's really grinding my gears is the choice of referee for this fixture. Not only have we got 4 men out, not only are we playing Brentford away, going to be a tough game regardless of the circumstances. Not only are we going to be playing at a 5:30 time slot on a Saturday where things for big teams do tend to go wrong sometimes, Anthony Taylor's the referee. Anthony Taylor is the referee tomorrow. Let me get this straight. Not long ago we played Liverpool. How long? 5-6 weeks ago, I think. About 6 weeks ago, just under 2 months perhaps. We played Liverpool. Shocking performance. Out of that, we got petitions, we got outrage, we got content like from me and all the other lads that do Chelsea content. Everyone and their mother was screaming about how Anthony Taylor's a useless referee. We as Chelsea fans don't want him to ref a Chelsea game ever again. You can give him any game you want, any game, and you can give us any referee you want, just not Anthony Taylor. Not Anthony Taylor. We'll go for any referee you have, even Mike Dean. Even Mike Dean, yeah? Because Mike Dean, I don't think has a problem with Chelsea. I think Mike Dean has a problem with himself. I think Mike Dean wants to go onto a football pitch and make it the Mike Dean show, right? It's got to be all about Mike Dean. And that can fall to anyone. Fair enough. But Anthony Taylor, I'm going to say this. I think he's got a problem with Chelsea. I think he's got some sort of vendetta against us, right? Whenever he comes into a Chelsea match, all of a sudden, the odds are stacked against us and things start going wrong. We don't want him. Simple. We do not want Anthony Taylor reffing a game again. What happens? There's a petition, as I said, signed by thousands and thousands of Chelsea fans, all sorts of social media outrage. We even had the mainstream press start talking about Anthony Taylor and Chelsea games. And what happens? The FA and the Premier League go, yeah, no problem. 5 weeks later, yeah, you can have Brentford versus Chelsea. So look, this is where I'm not confident. And I'm starting to think, you know what? Tomorrow is just a recipe for everything to go wrong. Simple as that. Now, it might not. And realistically, Chelsea should be able to go onto the pitch tomorrow and get a job done. We should. We've got the quality, we've got the manager, we've got the personnel. We should have the mental resilience. We should have everything, all the attributes to go to Brentford and win. Regardless of who the referee is and whatnot, we should. But sometimes during a game of 90 minutes, things can go against you and it's uncontrollable. And that's what I think is going to happen tomorrow. Fingers crossed it doesn't. But let's get into the lineup and what I think needs to happen in terms of that starting 11. Let's check it out now. So, starting off with goalkeeper, it's got to be Mr. Edouard Mendy. Let's start with Edouard Mendy in goal. That's very, very easy to determine in terms of who's going in goal. Let's go into the back three now. Rudiger's out. This is where we've got to make some changes here. And this is where I think there's only one man we can call upon to fill in. The back three, I think we should go with Azpilicueta, Christensen, because Thiago Silva's out, and Christensen is that man in the middle that can definitely do a flipping job. Danish Maldini, absolutely love it. But in terms of left centre-back, I know some of you are probably going to say, yeah, Malang Sarr. No, not against Brentford. Not in a game where I think it's going to be seriously physical. No room for error. I think Sarr might have a mistake in him. Who I would determine is Chalobah. I would put Chalobah there. And yes, Chalobah isn't a left centre-back. But I feel like he can fill in. I feel like he's got the attributes. He's got the mental capacity to understand what the role requires. I think he's got the speed. He's got the pace. He's got the strength. He's got the technical ability on and off the ball. I would definitely put him there. I think he's the only man we can turn to in the absence of Rudiger tomorrow. So that would be my back three. In terms of the wing backs, I would go with Ben Chilwell at left wing back. I think he's the more well-rounded left wing-back. Let's have it right. In terms of him and Alonso, I like Alonso a lot. I do think, though, in terms of just having the complete, more near enough the complete player in that role, you're going to go with Chilwell. Now, I hope he's not as naive as he was against Southampton. He had an alright game against Southampton, made amends with the goal in the latter stages of the game. With that ridiculous tackle that he made to give away a penalty. It's stupid, absolutely stupid. He just, as long as he doesn't do that tomorrow, he'll be alright, because he's quick, he's physical, he gets a challenge in, he can bomb forward, he can put himself into very good attacking options, which is where I used to prefer Alonso pretty much all the time. But now Chilwell's doing it too. That's great, happy days. So in a game where I think tomorrow is going to have to go back to the grassroots, a game against Brentford almost feels like a championship fixture. So if you're playing a championship sort of fixture, you need to go back to the basics. And I feel like, Chilwell, especially being the English one, understands the route and understands where Brentford have come from, and I think that's going to help us. So I would go with Chilwell. In terms of right wing back, I think it's very important that we have this man back now, Reece James. Thank you very much. Come right back in, Reece. And I hope he can not only just be very solid, and as I know he will, but I want to see those crosses into Lukaku. I want to see those balls straight into the box like only he can, with so much precision. Hopefully he can do a good job. So I would pick Reece James. Now in the double pivot, this is where there's a big question mark now, because Kante's back. Jorginho is fit, but he's played a lot of football. Hasn't had the greatest time away on international break with Italy losing the way that they did. It's not been great. But who would you pick? Kovacic is there. Loftus-Cheek is there now as well. And those were the two that played against Southampton. So do we switch it up, or do we keep what worked? Personally, for this game, again, thinking about our opposition here, Brentford, I would keep it the same. So I would go with Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and I would go with Mateo Kovacic. And then we can think about bringing Kante on. I'm scared a bit about Kante. I think he's fit. I think he's fully fit. And in training, he looked fantastic. But I don't want to just throw him in. I feel like maybe 45 minutes, maybe half an hour. If we've got the result under wraps and we need some protection, we can bring on Kante, and hopefully he can see it out, get some minutes, and we'll get him going. But I want to see the same sort of performance that we saw with Loftus-Cheek and Kovacic against Southampton. So that would be really, really nice. In terms of the front three, this is where it gets a bit tasty. I would go Mason Mount, Timo Werner. And I'm going to say Lukaku anyway, because it's Lukaku, and I feel like all of us agree on this one, so we'll go Lukaku. But I would go Mason Mount. Again, thinking about who we're coming up against, a lot of energy, physicality is required. It's going to be a massively, massively physical game. So difficult. And Mason Mount is all about that. He's all about running. He's all about energy. He's all about intensity, urgency. And not just that, but I think he could be the key to get the ball from midfield to our attackers, in terms of down the middle, in terms of being able to maybe penetrate a couple of past defenders, things like that. I feel like Mason Mount can be that glue. Now, I hope, this is where I'm a little bit concerned, I hope he's on form. I hope he finds some good form tomorrow, because even against England, he wasn't good. For England, not against England. He is English. For England, he wasn't good. And that's form that he had before he went out injured for Chelsea. He wasn't good either. So I'm hoping that we get some good performances from Mason Mount and starting tomorrow. Timo Werner, Lukaku, I want to see that go in. Timo Werner's had an incredible international break, so let's hope that works out for him. And Lukaku, the big man up top, I want him to score, and hopefully he scores tomorrow. So that would be the starting 11. That's what I think we should go with. Will Thomas Tuchel go with the same thing? We'll wait and see. But that would be my starting 11. Now, in terms of a score prediction, I honestly think this is difficult, because as I've said, I've gone into this fixture thinking, yeah, we're going to do it. And now I'm like, I don't know. If everything goes okay, right, if everything goes as it should, no referee intervention, Chelsea are looking good, we're on form, we're playing well, we're playing our football, I'm going to say 2-1 Chelsea. With all the factors that could come into the game, this is where I'm saying don't be surprised if Brentford get a win. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say Brentford will win 1-0 or 2-0 or whatever. I'm just saying. Anthony Taylor, keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on him. 3 times. 4 times, keep an eye on him. We'll see. But anyway, tomorrow I'll be doing the watch along. I'll be back home for that one, so you'll get everything back to normal on that. So yeah, watch along tomorrow, 5:30, Brentford versus Chelsea. Make sure you're there. After that, I'll be dropping the match review for all of you. So thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you see it going down? And hopefully we get a win. Fingers crossed. I'll see all of you tomorrow. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. Hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash like button if you've enjoyed this. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Look after yourselves. Take care. And peace.